Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Chaf, Kaf Sofit, Lamed, Mem, Mem Sofit, Nun, Nun Sofit, Samech, Ain, Pei, Fei, Pei Sofit, Tzadi, Tzadi Sofit, Kof, Resh, Shin, Sin, Tav.
Okay, doesn't hurt to hear them again, right? So we're going to start with the Kedusha this morning, which is part of the Amida. So if you look on page 157 of Sim Shalom, and I'm going to play the whole thing for you and then look at some. Now, I'm sorry, once again, I don't have the pages for Lev Shalom. So if somebody is using that, could you just clue everybody in? It's right after
185.
It should be a little bit after the Torah service.
It's on 185.
Thank you, Celia. 157 in Sim Shalom and 185 in Lev Shalem.
Thank you, Celia.
Okay, so let's listen to the Kedusha. It should sound familiar. It's pretty, most of it is the same, I think, at most shuls, but there's parts of it that are different. Disappeared. Try it again.
Betty, are you muted? Because I see mostly you.
I'm sorry, I can't mute when I'm sharing for someone.
No, Betty should mute herself.
Okay.
Oh. No, I'm not muted.
Yeah, you should be though, because we're gonna have she's gonna put something up for us.
Okay.
Can't.
Okay, thanks.
But I can't seem to get. Try it one more time. If not, we'll forget it. Should be able to. There we go.
Musaf Amida. So this is part of the repetition.
Let's start again.
I'm going to sing the Kedusha from Shabbat Musaf Amida. So this is part of the repetition of the Amida that is done out loud and together. And when it's happening, people stand up with their feet together. And the idea is that we are saying praises of God that the angels would say. And so we're going to stand with our feet together to mimic the angels who only have one foot. So often the way this works is that the congregation will say each paragraph quietly to themselves, and then the person who's leading the prayer will sing it out loud to a tune, and everybody will join in. So I'll just do the tunes sort of in a row, but if you were hearing this done in a service, you would hear breaks between the different tunes, during which people would be saying the following paragraph quietly to themselves. המקדישים שמך בקודש, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלך הארץ כבודו, כבודו מלא מלא עולם ויהי מקום כבודו, כבודו מלא מלא עולם ויהי מקום כבודו, כבודו מלא עולם ושרת שרים שרים זה לזה ויהי מקום כבודו, ושרת שרים שרים זה לזה ויהי מקום כבודו, לעומתם ברוך יאמרו, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ממקומו, הוא ייתן ברחמים, ויחונם, המייחדים שמו, ערב בבוקר, לכל יום תמיד, המים ביבא, שמע אומרים, שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד, הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו, והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו שנית, לעיני כל חי, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור, ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
You able to follow along in your Siddur? It's hard when there's lots of repetitions, I know, but raise your hand. Does it sound familiar to you?
Oh, yeah, sounds familiar.
Most of the tunes.
It's familiar. It was easier for me to watch the screen than to go to the Siddur. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I guess she pointed out where she was all the time.
Right, that's why it's easier. She was pointing it out. So let's go back to the Siddur. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Hi, Geraldine. What's the matter? The smoke? What?
Smoke detector went off.
Oh. Okay. I hope everything's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Kedusha on page 157. So the lines that are not bolded are what the Chazan says. The lines that are in bold print are what the congregation says. Okay, so it's still good reading practice for us to do it so you can follow along. So let's, do you want me to read it first, or do you think you can just?
No, what, I lost the page,
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you said it was 185, Celia.
but it's not.
Oh, it's
No,
not.
it's
Not, right, oh, good,
No.
I'm not the only one that couldn't follow it, I couldn't find it.
I'll have to print it out. I do have a copy of it, but online, but I didn't print it out.
If you could, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, I will. I'm sorry I didn't do that. But it should, if you look in your Siddur, if you find the Torah service,
Mhm,
and then after the Torah service starts Musaf,
mhm.
so it should be around the 4th page of Musaf.
Well, it says here the Musaf Amidah for Shabbat, is
Right.
that it?
That's it.
But
And
it's, that is the page that she gave us, but it wasn't, I couldn't follow it, I couldn't find
No,
it.
I couldn't, I
No,
agree.
I can't, it's
Same
not,
thing.
that's where it started, but
so if you find the word Na'aritzacha, can you find that?
No,
No,
give me English. I'm faster in English.
my copy has with patriarchs and matriarchs and just with patriarchs.
No,
No,
it's-
but it should be after that, though. If the
Oh,
English,
after,
we revere and hallow you on earth as your name is hallowed in heaven. Can you find the bold part? Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh.
I'm trying. to
no,
do-
no.
I'm looking.
And
This is,
I don't even have it to screen share with you.
That's fine.
so you're not in the Siddur Sim Shalom?
I'm in Sim Shalom, yes,
Yeah, but the others are not.
but the others
We're
are.
in Lev Shalom.
No,
Okay.
Kadosh.
So
It's in the Musaf.
I mean, what if we Google that and see where it's at?
oh, okay. Can you find that? Let me see if I can find it in my email somewhere. I have it.
Anyway, I was following it along with what you had on the screen.
Green.
Right. Well, I can put that back up.
Yeah, but there was a line where she skipped a phrase, then said it again, skipped the phrase, then said it again and said the phrase.
Right.
how do you know that?
She was singing
We add.
a repetition.
So when it has the
Oh,
Musaf Amida for Shabbat
found
in the
it.
prayer,
You found it?
I think it's 187 because it's got Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Zavot, Melech.
That's
That one?
uh-huh.
Yep, it's 187.
So right above it, do you see the word Na'aritzacha?
Yep.
Okay, so that's where I'm going to start. Betty,
Yeah, Sharon, you can read it for us first.
I'm going to read it first. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody. Okay. Na'aritzcha v'nakdishcha kisod siach sarfei kodesh hamakdishim shimcha bakodesh kakatuv al yad nivi'echa v'kara ze el ze v'amor. And then the congregation all does Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Milo, Kol Haaretz Kivodo. For anyone that's reading in Sim Shalom, if you look at the word, the third word from the end of that line, do you see that the little kamatz under the chaf is sort of separated? It's a dot with a line above it. If you can notice that, that means you say aw. Remember, whatever the kaf and the lamed together, you say aw instead of ah. So it's kol haaretz kivodo. Okay, so now I'm on the fourth line. Kivodo, malay, olam, nishar tav, shoalim, ze la ze, aye, mikom, kivodo, leumatam, baruch yomeru. And then the congregation would say, Baruch kavod Adonai mimkomo. Mimkomo hu yifen birachamim v'yachon am hamyachadim shemo erev vavoker bechol yom tamid pa'amim Be'ahava Shema Omrim. And the congregation all does Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, the Hu Yashmienu, the Rachamav Shenit Le'enei Kol Chai. Lihiot lachem lelohim. And the congregation answers, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Uvdivrei kadshacha katuv lemor. And the congregation, Yimloch Adonai leolam Elohayich Sion ledor vador hallelujah. And then most congregations sing this part together. L'dor vador nagid gadlecha, ol netzach netzachim kedushatcha nakdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed. Ki el melech gadol v'kadosh atah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Okay, and that paragraph is L'dor v'ador, right? L'dor v'ador. So I'm sure you probably sing that. So let's try and read it. It's a little difficult prayer, but I think you can do it. It's good practice. So anybody want to try it first? Celia.
Na aritska ve nak di sheka ke sword. That's sa.
Right.
Yeah. Say ha.
Siach.
Siha.
Remember when the chet and the patah come at the end of a word, you read it the opposite way. You read the vowel first. So it's siach.
Siach.
Right.
Sar. Fei. Kodesh. Ha mak. Di. Shim. Shimka.
Perfect.
Kodesh. Hakatuv. Can't see the vowel.
Yad.
Yad. Na.
Ne.
Ba. Yaka. Yika.
Uh-huh.
Va. Ka. Ra, Ze, El, Za, Va, A, Mer.
It's a lot.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Zavot, Male, Kol, Ha-Aretz, Kavodo.
Right. Just go back 4 words from the end with the mem. Try that one again. It might just, you can't see the vowels, but it's,
Ze, Va, Ot.
no, the one, okay, the one after that.
The one after,
Uh-huh.
Milo,
That's it. Milo. You didn't see the
Milo.
top. Milo.
Yeah, in my book, it's on top.
Okay. Go ahead, keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Kavodo, Male, Olam, Mishar, Tan, Sholem,
Mm.
Ze, La, Ze, Ya,
Yeah.
Me, Kum, Kovodo, Le, Umatam, Baruch, Yamaru, Baruch, Kavod Adonai Mikamo.
Beautiful. Celia, thank you. That was great. Someone else want to try? Cindy, thank you. Cindy, you didn't unmute, Cindy. There you go.
Meme como, who, Yifen, Baracha, meme, the Ye, Chon, Ham, Aha, Dim, Shemo, Erev.
Right.
Vavocher. No, so that would that be Bichol?
That's it. Good.
Bichol,
Uh-huh.
Yom, Tamer,
Tamid.
Tamid, is it still, okay, Tamid, Pa'amayim, Be'ahaba, Shema, Omrim. Shema, Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad.
Right. Robert. Ah. Robert. Sorry, my
That's okay.
husband's headphones are tied into the computer.
Oh, should I
Okay.
keep going?
Yeah, keep going, Cindy.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's right. Who? Eloheinu. No, Eloheinu. Who? Avinu. Hu, Mo, Kenu, Hu. Moshi, Anu.
Mhm.
The Who, Yashmi, Anu, sorry, Anu, Bara, Ha, Man, Shay,
It's a
Mav, okay, Mav, Shay, Neat, Le, Ne, Koha, Koha,
Chai, the yud after it.
right, Kohai, Le, Li, Yot,
Right.
La, Hem. La alo hem. Leo la wait.
That's
Lay lo hem.
him.
Hem.
One dot him.
Him.
That's it. I'm gonna
Want me
do
to keep going?
one more line. Yeah.
Okay. Anu Adonai Elo Hey Hem.
The first word is ani, I. That means I, ani.
Okay.
I am the Lord your God. There's 3 words. Okay. And Arlene.
Sorry, is it, Vu?
Ooh.
Vudi Ray Ka Kad Shecha Ka Tov Le More.
Tuv, Lamor. Good.
Yeah. Ye lo Adonai le olam elo hayi si von
Young.
le, is it von?
It's young.
Si yong
That's it. See young.
the door Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
The door, Nagid, Gad, Lecha, Sach. Is it Sach, that one? Sach?
Got it. No, stop.
Yeah. Satin could do Shatcha Nadish
Right.
V'shivchach V'shivchach Ha'ach
That's all. It's the sheaf.
V'shichach Ha
Right.
Eloheinu mi Pinu
Right.
Lo Yamush Leolam Vaed Ki El Melech Gadol Kadosh Atah Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh and Baruch Atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh.
Beautiful. Very
I
nice.
couldn't have done it unless those other people had gone first. They refreshed my memory. I was so glad. Who was it Cindy and who else? Somebody who went
Oh,
for
yeah.
Celia. If they hadn't gone, they refreshed my memory on all the letters. It was great. Thank you.
You're
Good. We're
welcome.
all teaching each other.
Thank you. Yeah, really. I mean, besides Sharon, you doing it, but to go through it again, it was so important for us to go through it because it made the letter sink in for me when they were saying it.
That's,
Yeah,
I'm glad.
I'm glad. It worked well as a class for me.
Good.
Mhm.
It's good. We need to cooperate. Maddie. You have to unmute, Maddie. We want to hear you.
Of course. I'm sorry. I belong to a Reformed congregation in New York, and their prayer book had the transliteration, the reg that we see on the opposite page, that was right under the Hebrew. So you can, you
Oh,
could follow, that's where it should be,
you're right.
actually.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
Instead of
I've
looking
never
up.
seen that. You're right.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and this way, then use that as a crutch, actually. And
Right.
then eventually you don't have to look at the red. You could read it from the black, but
Right.
that's the way it should be.
That's great. What's the name of that prayer book?
Pardon me?
What's the name?
I think it was, name a few and it'll come to me.
I don't, yeah.
Oh, there's one that's a very famous publisher. Well, this was from the Reform movement, so they had their own. It was the same prayers, except that it had the transliteration right underneath it, which
Right.
was fabulous. So you could be like a big macha and you saying, we will think, oh, you know Hebrew, of course.
Nobody would even know. Okay.
I have
So,
a
All right, I'll
When-
find out though the name of it.
that's okay.
One thing that I've noticed for myself, I used to read the transliteration as well. And if you get lost, like you look up for a minute and you look back down, it is harder for me to find it in the transliteration than it is to now easier to find it in the Hebrew, because I'm hearing the letters and I know what I'm looking for, as opposed, and I find my spot faster in the Hebrew now than when it was a transliteration.
Okay,
I'm so,
but the
I
thing is,
can't-
don't lose your place.
I can't vocalize it as fast as everybody else, but I'm just thrilled that I can follow,
It's always-
and if I lose a spot, I can find it. So that to me is already, I'm, A+ student.
Sharon, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Cindy.
I just had a question. Is it hallelujah? Because it sounds like when you say it in synagogue, it's hallelujah.
It
Or
is.
is that a different word? Or is it?
Because there are two lameds together, you pronounce the shva. So it's hallelujah.
Okay.
Okay, because there's when two identical letters are next to each other, you say the shva.
Hallelujah. Okay.
Hallelujah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put on some pages from the book that talk about the Kedusha a little bit. We can read it together. Let's hope I can find it. It's always mine. Here we go. I can make it. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to just follow along. The core of the Kedusha consists of 3 biblical verses, and those are the ones that the congregation says out loud. So it's Kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy. Adonai Tsevaot is Adonai of the heavenly legions. Malo Kol Haaretz Kivodo. The whole earth is full of God's glory. Baruch Kivod Adonai Nimkomo. Blessed is the glory of Adonai from God's place. And you can see they're both taken right from the books of prophets and they're put into the prayer book. And the third verse, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Adonai will rule forever. Elohayik Zion, your God, O Zion, L'dur Vadur, hallelujah. From generation to generation, hallelujah. And that's from Psalms. Okay. Somebody want to read the English here? Maddie, you want to read the English?
The English, did you say? Oh,
Yeah.
it is the first of these verses that the prophet Isaiah describes the beautiful and mystical vision of God sitting on the divine throne surrounded by angels. How can we understand holiness? Perhaps we can best imagine it as life's fourth dimension, that invisible plane of existence that turns Friday night into Shabbat, a simple act into a mitzvah, and a wish into a prayer.
Okay, nice. So those are the three parts that the congregation says, and the Chazan does the other parts. So after that is the next section of the Amida. Okay, the Amida is coming to a close. How does one end such a litany of prayers? The rabbis of old, as if fearful of leaving something out, fashioned this comprehensive prayer of thanksgiving. Its generalities contribute to its power. For each of us carries our own bundle of gratitude. The liturgical template shared here, thanking God for our lives, our souls, and the miracles with which we are blessed daily, invites the private acknowledging of our thanks before God. So this is on page 159 of Sim Shalom. And if Celia or Betty can find it in Lev Shalom, it should be just a few pages after what we just read. And it has, the part we're looking at is called Modim, the part that gives thankfulness. It's usually split into 2 paragraphs.
It's 190. Modim on new.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the Amida. Remember, we said it's 19 blessings. We just did the Kedusha, which was 1, and now we're getting towards the end. And this is Modim. They call it Hoda'ah, the parts of thankfulness. So if you go down 1, 2, 3 paragraphs in Sim Shalom, there's 2 split paragraphs. Do you see that? Those are both Modim. Okay, so when the Chazan recites the Modim, the congregation continues silently. You read the small print one. But when it's done silently, which we do, where it reads the bigger paragraph that begins with Modim. Because one is the Chazan asking for thankfulness for the congregation, and one you're doing it on your own. So you can either follow in your Siddur or on the page up here. Modim anachnu lach, sha'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu, ve'imotenu. And that's in bolded up here because some synagogues don't have it. Sim Shalom doesn't have that. Le'olam va'ed, sur chayenu, magen yishenu, ata hu l'dur vadur. Nodeh lecha nisaper tehilatecha al chayenu hamsurim biyadecha ve'al nishmotenu hafkudot lach. Ve'al nisecha shebechol yom. Imanu ve'al nifleotecha v'tovotecha shebechol et. Erev v'avoker v'tzaharayim hatov ki lo chalu rachamecha v'hamrachem ki lo tamu chasadecha me'olam kivinu. It was continued on the next page here. Okay. Somebody want to try, let's stop sharing this a minute. What page is 70? Okay, so Modim, Celia.
Modim ana nu lek sha'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve lo. That's when you switch, right? Lo
Elohe, it's two dots,
the lo hey.
right?
Votenu ve imotenu le olam vaed. Zur hi yenu magen yish
Ein,
it's a what?
it's two dots, Yish Einu.
Yish enu. Two dots. Tahu le dor vador no de lek on sa par
There,
te ha teka al ha yenu ham sulim be ya teka va ve al nish mo tenu ha. Can't see what's under the
it's a Hapiku.
ha ku dot leka ve al
That last one is Lach.
lak ve al na seka shev hol yom im imnu va ve al na le o teka
Right.
ve tov ve tov o tek she ve ha at
It's two dots, 8.
arev. I can't see it, it's so dark. Erev ve va kar
There's a dot on the top of the bet. If You see? There's,
Dot on the top of that. Which, the middle one?
yeah, the vet.
Yeah.
Care.
Vove. Care. Vove care.
Uh-huh.
Ver. Ze. Ha. Rom.
Yim. It's Saharayim.
Okay, I quit. Somebody else do the next page.
Okay, well, we're just doing, it's just 3 lines on the bottom there. Arlene.
Hatov ki lo kalu rahamecha v'ham rahim ki lo hamu hasa decha me olam kiv vinu lach.
Great, you both did great. That was good.
And it is hard. It's hard to see it. Yeah.
It's hard to see those little dots. Yeah. Cindy. Cindy.
Okay, in the Seam Shalom, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines from the bottom, 3rd word over.
Right.
Okay, the
There's nothing under that.
there.
That's just a,
What is that underneath the,
it's just a truck mark.
okay, a trope mark, okay. So is it, I can't tell, is it a solid, straight line down? Like a?
Straight
curved
line down. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So it's that's nothing to read. Care.
okay, so ignore that,
Yeah. Whenever you see a straight line like that,
okay. So is that what you,
when you sing it,
okay. Are we gonna learn trope?
sure, not from me.
Seems very difficult.
I know Haftorah Trop, but I never learned Torah Trop. That's my one of my goals to do.
Wow.
Because it's different, but they're similar. Okay, if you look on page 160, what time is it? We have time. Look on page 160, down at the bottom on Seam Shalom. It has a Chazan ads and the congregation Ken Yehi Ratzon. It's called the, I'm going to put on a screen share a minute to show you something. Let's see. Okay, so somebody want to read this? The English part. Go ahead, Maddie. You want to read the English for us on Shabbat? Can you see it okay?
Yes, I can. All right. All right. On Shabbat, instead of the middle 13 Amidah blessings for weekdays, we have one, the blessing for the Sabbath day. This
Yield.
yields a total of 7 blessings corresponding to the 7 days of the week. More than asking for gifts such as health, redemption, justice, beauty, or world peace, I guess, as the weekday prayers do, this prayer asks for mutual fulfillment. May God be happy with our rest, it says, and may we become
I can't read that either.
I can't read that, no. With God's goodness, maybe it becomes sated, I guess,
Sated,
with
yeah.
God's goodness.
Okay, so this is called the Kiddushat Hayom, the blessing of the day. So Shabbat is different from the weekday blessings of the Amida. So if you look on page 160, it says Chazan adds Eloheinu, Elohei, Votenu, and Lev Shalom. If you can't find it, it's up here, what we're going to say.
189.
189, thank you, Celia. Okay, so all the things above it are part of the Amida too, but they're only done, the top part's only on Hanukkah, the next part's only on Shabbat Shuvah, and then this is the part that we all say on Shabbat. So I'll read it first. Eloheinu, Ve'Elohei Avotenu, Barchenu, Babracha, Hamshuleshet, Batorah, Haktuva, Al Yedei, Moshe, Abdecha, Ha'amura, Mipi, Aharon, Uvanav, Kohanim, Am Kedoshecha, Ke'amur. And then there's 3 blessings. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, and the congregation all answers, Ken Yehi Ratzon, and that means may it be God's will. So the Chazan is giving the blessing, may God bless you and guard you, and everyone answers, may this be God's will, Ken Yehi Ratzon. The second line, Ya'er Adonai Hanav Elecha V'chunecha, Ken Yehi Ratzon. Yisa Adonai Panav Elecha V'yasem Lecha Shalom, Ken Yehi Ratzon. Okay. Betty, you have a question? No? Okay. Somebody want to start reading that paragraph? Cindy? Let me stop sharing. Well, does everybody have it in their Siddur?
I'm doing
No.
it.
No, so I'll leave this up here then. Okay, Cindy.
Just start at where the Chazan adds.
Yes, Eloheinu.
Eloheinu, Relohei,
Avotenu,
Avotenu, Barhenu, Babracha, Hamshulo, no wait, Hamshuleshet,
That's it. Great.
Batorah, Chaktuba, Al Yidei, Moshe, Avrecha, Ha'amuta,
Amura.
Mura, Mipi, Ha'aron, Uvanav, Kohabnim, Kidoshecha, Ba'amor.
Ka'amur. Great, Cindy. And somebody want to try the 3 blessings there? Eileen?
Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha
And everyone, there's Kanye, he writes.
Ken Ye Ratzon. Yair. Yeah,
That's Adonai.
I don't know. I don't know. Panav Elecha V'Chunecha Ken Ye Ratzon. Yisa Adonai Panav Elecha V'Yasem Lecha Shalom.
Beautiful.
King Yehi Ratzon. Yes.
Everyone's doing beautifully.
Sharon, too, you set the model for us. I wanted to make sure that you knew that I felt that way. You are definitely, when you read, I just love to hear you go. And I just love the way the class is structured, very much so.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
I write that to whoever, I need to, that I do like very much the way, you read and set the model and then the participants take place. It's beautifully done for us. Thank you.
I appreciate that. And everyone really is doing so well. You should be so proud of yourselves that you're reading beautifully like that. Okay, I think, anybody have any questions before we go on?
I do.
Cindy?
I have a question.
Okay, so for the congregation, the start of that prayer.
Right?
Okay, it's Yivarecha, but it sounds like when they say it in synagogue, they say the Shva.
They do. Yivarecha.
Why is that? Just
It's
Pause.
just easier to say. It's
Okay.
okay to, yeah. And really, it's two chafs together because it's a chaf and then a chaf sofit. So it's the same
Oh, so
letter.
it's the
So
same
it's the
letter.
same rule as the double letter. So it's Yivarecha.
And if you have two Shvas in a row, the first one is silent and then you say the second one. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Okay.
Good. Maddie, did you have a question?
Yes, the question is, what are we doing next week? Maybe we could study ahead or something.
Okay, so next week, let me see, we're probably going to end up the Amida with the silent prayers at the end. So it's page
Oh.
161. And then I think we're going to do the Ashrei, go back and do that. I saved that because it's a hard prayer.
Oh.
And what else are we going to do? I'll try. Do you want me to send it out earlier, the pages? That way it'll be,
That'll be good.
instead of the night before. I'll send it out on
Okay.
on Monday or Tuesday that way.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay. And that way I'll know. So I was going to do
And if it's possible to get these recordings, that would be great too.
the recording of the Kedusha. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Everybody have a great week.
You too.
But shalom.
Well, stay out of the weather.
Thank you so much, Sharon.
Okay,
Sharon,
bye.
in,
Yeah.
in New Jersey, last weekend I went to a wedding, and so the cemetery where the whole family is buried is King Solomon.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Is King Solomon's in Clifton, New Jersey. So I visited all the relatives,
Right.
and I never was able to do this before, but I cried. I was with my mother and my father, and I read their Hebrew. I read they're in Hebrew. I must have given it to the rabbi, and the rabbi probably gave it to whoever was writing it, but I never read it before. And I'm at the tombstones going, and it's a hard name, Liba Zissel. And without you, Sharon, and I was so touched. I was able to read their Hebrew names.
That's so special.
Tombstones. I just had to share that with you. I couldn't believe that. I would have never been able to do that ever. And my husband was there. You know, we were visiting. It was after the wedding on Sunday. My husband was there, and not only him, but my son was there. And it was his son who was able to do in Hanukkah time, who's 10, Hanukkah, all the what do you do? The dreidel, and he knew all the letters, and I didn't, and I knew immediately I had to learn Hebrew, and that's how it all began.
Wow.
And it was
Nice.
Good for you. This is dreidel with him and know what the letters are. Do you know what Liba Zissel means?
No, I don't.
It's Yiddish. Liba is heart, and Zissel is sweet, so it's sweetheart.
Wow.
No, I didn't.
That's a beautiful Yiddish name.
Because I'm Bat Liba Zissel. And not knowing Hebrew or Yiddish or any of that, I had to give it to my rabbi, who then would give it to whoever the people were that were writing it. I could only say, my mom said, Liba Zissel, something like that, and said, sweetheart. Oh, and she was.
Was she? Aliba is your heart, and Zissela is your sweet. Like I call my granddaughter a Zissela.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. That's a nice story.
And Arlene, you can read Hebrew now at your grandson's bar mitzvah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And I have two of them within 1 year that are they're two bar mitzvahs. The two 10-year cousins that are going to have them. So, and they were my inspiration. I had two others earlier in life, but I was busy working and I never thought about it. But when these two younger ones started in, and they could do the Passover questions in Hebrew, and I said, I can't do any of that.
Good for you for taking
and I'm glad I became part of the group here. I'm so glad. It's such a nice group, and really.
My next step is, how many of you wear a talit? Do you wear a talit?
I have. I thought you only could get it if you got bat mitzvahed.
I don't know. Well, after your bat mitzvah, you'll get one. I haven't worn one yet because it just didn't feel right to me. But I'm thinking more and more about it.
Oh, wow. I would think
You mean,
Huh?
I would think you would wear one.
Have you read Torah yet?
I have read Torah, yeah, but
Okay.
only learning it from a recording because I don't know Torah.
But if you're called for an aliyah, our rabbi makes you put on a talit, and I felt very uncomfortable at first, and now I find it very comforting
Right.
because
Now,
it's about 90-something years old. My father, it's a tiny one. My father wore it his bar mitzvah, and my son wore it, and now my son said, take it.
that's so nice.
So I'm wrapped in family when I go to Shabbat services.
Yes, you are.
Really special. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm getting towards it. You know what's inspiring me lately? Do you ever watch the women at the wall do their Rosh Chodesh service?
Yeah.
They do. It's live from the wall.
Wow. No. Yeah.
And they're giving them they have a very difficult time doing it there. They have to do it in a special section because they're women. They won't let them bring a Torah in. And a few weeks ago, some of the Hasidim tore their prayer books because it was women using them. So,
they're cruel. They spit at them, they yell at them, they curse at them. These are young girls and moms and whatever, Orthodox people, and they practically cavity shirts them. I mean, body shirts them to make sure they don't get. They're so creative. They have gotten Torahs in so many out of the world ideas that they had that they were able to bring it in. But it's so sad. You know, people don't realize that within Israel, there's a lot of anti-Semitism against people who are Reform conservative and people who are Orthodox. Very sad.
Like the Taliban.
right. So anyway, that's
Jewish
they all
Taliban.
wear a talit, and I'm saying they're proud and they have to be afraid to wear it there. So it's like it's a good thing for women to take one. So nice obligation. Yeah.
How do you get that recording? Where are you? What are you going on?
Book.
Oh,
Women of the Wall. Wow.
Right. just belong to Women of the Wall.
Oh,
They also sell talits and things, other things too for fundraising.
Right, they do. Women's League sells them, I think, also.
I gotta go.
Okay, Celia,
okay.
everyone,
Yeah.
have a great week. It was good talking to you as always.
Okay, everyone
Bye,
take
everybody.
care. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Bye.
Bye-bye.